I went to an all-boys high school. I grew up without a father. I think that's something significant, and then something we could probably talk a little bit more about. My dad took his life when I was 6 years old. He hung himself.
Wow.
I didn't want to get like super hard on it right now, but right when you ask me that question, you talk about family, that's always the first thing I think about. You know, a lot of people ask me and they're like, yo, like, would you change this? Could you change, if you could change your past, or like, you know, are you upset? Because I remember when I was younger, I was so much more like, not that it doesn't affect me now, but I was so much more this, I lived in this why me mentality anytime I did anything, like, because I felt like, you know, you graduate high school and you're like, oh, you see other people's dads or people that have these things in their life, and you look at it and you're like, damn, I wish I had that. If you have something that happened to you in your life, it's much easier to be like, fuck, this happened to me. I'm in a shitty situation, so like, I'm gonna let shitty things continue to happen to me. Versus like, nah, I'm gonna use this energy or the anger or the aggression or the upset or the regret, whatever you feel over something that happened to you that you feel like you didn't deserve. Like, a lot of times it's things when you're a kid because you can't control that shit. But you can't control how you continue to like grow, how you continue to move forward. And it's hard when you're younger because you look at other kids, and even when you're older, you look at other people and you say, those people have things I don't have. So like, and it's because of the things I went through. And or it's like, I want those things I don't, you know, I didn't have grow up with a father, and I see my friend with his father. Like, half the time I spent with most of my friends growing up, I was like, their fathers were like father figures to me. And then I go home and be like, I wish I just had a dad.
Right.
But it's like, I didn't let that crush me. So I was like, I wasn't like, let that ruin my life. For me, weightlifting was a way that like, I was able to take my focus away from the things that made me upset or mad or angry. And I was able to just like, and the idea of loss, right? I was able to like, okay, let me not worry about that for an hour. And I noticed I was able to figure that out through weightlifting. Like, cause I played sports at first, but I got into weightlifting so much more, and I was like, wow, I really like the way this feels. Cause when you're benching, that's all I'm thinking about. It's, you know, in the weight's heavy.
Flow state.
Yeah, and I'm not thinking about, you know, homework, my dad, unless it's like an upset anger, and it's helping me push forward. But it helps like let go of the things of my brain is just kind of going nonstop, and I'm able to just like, okay, if I don't think about lifting this weight, it's gonna crush me. So it allowed me to be in like, to find a place where I was just able to be more focused on one thing instead of worrying about a bunch of other shit in my life that I was worrying about.
Right.
So then I was able to just like, so I wanted to do it more because I wanted to escape that. So in the beginning, it was about escaping that. It was about getting away from like the negative thoughts of shit that I didn't have and things that I wanted and shit but I didn't have them. And I couldn't change at the time. So I was like, well, let me do this because I feel good when I do this. It's like a control thing and a release thing where like, I don't have to worry about the things that I'm normally worrying about and trying to fucking control that I can't. Yeah. And I can control this weight, or I can control this weight, whatever it is. And I just did it more because it made me feel good, and I just kept doing it, and I just kept doing it. And then over time, it was like, I was a trainer. I was a trainer since I was like 17. And then I started like, the internet came along, and I was like, I'll post my trainer, like my client transformations on Instagram. This was like literally back in 2010, 2011 when it started. Yeah. So I've been on Instagram since fucking day one.
So you've been working out, but you've been into weightlifting way before that?
Yeah. I started working out very consistently and heavily since I was 17. Like, that's when I was like, I'm gonna really do this. I wanna be a bodybuilder. Right. And that's when I was really into bodybuilding. Right. And I'm still into it now, but it's changed now because now I'm in the community, and like we talked about earlier, there's a lot of fake bullshit.